doing good. How you doing?
I'm blessed. You already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here on these streets, stepping into my power,
Oh,
covering my purpose. Out here on
oh.
the streets, you feel me? I'm out here on these streets, uncovering my purpose.
I'm getting blown now. I'm in my zone now.
Good morning. So happy Sunday, and I like the way City started that off because I feel like today's topic is definitely relative to that because you have to step into your power in order to have good work ethic. But we're gonna get into that. So, before we start off, per usual, you want to visit WeSoFlyMorningShow.com so that you can get that great content there. There's self care. There's all kinds of really cool things you can say to yourself, like mantras, affirmations. We have really good phrases up there, to get your brain pumping and get your inspiration going and just get that energy going. If you ever feel like, you need a little bit of motivation, get your daily dose of motivation on the We So Fly Morning Show, website, WeSoFlyMorningShow.com. Take care of you, make you feel better. There's all kinds of things to read on there, constantly adding more. And of course, if there's something specific you'd like to see or you'd like to hear, whatever in the video or whatever the case may be, let us know in the contact form at the bottom of the website, or you can go to the contact page where there's also all kinds of hotlines and just a lot of information for your emergency needs and all that stuff. Okay. So please be sure to check out the website. And of course, as you could see, City was wearing some of the brand right there. Stepping into your purpose, uncovering your stepping into your power, uncovering your purpose. You know what I'm saying? So those are the mantras and self love based shirts that we have out with the morning show so far. And there's like daily reminders. You can get a shirt that has a daily reminder on it, just in case you forget who you are, where you come from, the struggle, where you've been, where you plan to go, and who you are currently. So we have all kinds of mantras and great things to keep you focused on there. So just visit WeSoFlyMorningShow.com, check out the shirts, order some for friends and family. Share it, share it, share it. And we're constantly promoting it. We're gonna have a lot of great content up to keep you guys updated. Okay. So like I said, WeSoFlyMorningShow.com. But so now we're gonna get into the topic for today. So, like I said, it's all about working hard. So work ethic, says a lot about a person. How hard you work, says a lot about how serious you are about your life and your dreams and your progression. As the shirt says, stepping into your power. You know what I mean? That is your power. Your mind is your power, your energy is your power. So the amount of effort that you put into something says how powerful you are. It's not about being so talented and so skilled. I mean, that's great. That's a bonus. But it's about hard work. Hard work pays off in the long run, cuz if you notice, like, this is gonna sound, let me try to phrase this in the nicest way possible. There are people who are not there we go, particularly skilled in a certain area, if you know what I mean. And they still make it through the door because they're consistent, or they're very, their presence comes across a certain way, and their resume shows how hard they work. So the person, is more than likely, going to get in because of how hard they've worked, not necessarily because they're talented in that area, like they have a gift per se. A lot of the times, a lot of people are not gifted in the areas that they get into, but it happens. Thank you, Stuart. Good morning. So it's just all about the mindset. It's all about the energy, the effort. You can't put a little bit of effort into something, especially your dreams, and think that they're just gonna come true overnight. No, it doesn't work that way. Hard work pays off, and nothing good comes to those who, nothing good comes easily, as they say. And I really believe that, and that's why we're working hard with this show. No matter how hard we got to work, because it's worth it. The theme is all is beautiful. You can't beat positivity. You're trying to help the world. Like, what's better than that? you know so that's how you have to be with yourself. You have to constantly try your best to be positive, and keep going no matter how hard it may be. I know it gets tiresome at times, and that's when sometimes we just lose motivation because we have a certain dream, we have a certain timeline, and we think that if it doesn't happen within a certain deadline, I don't know, we all make deadlines to ourselves for whatever reason. We're like, if I don't get this done by next month, my dream is not going to work. Like, no, no, no. Don't do that to yourself, because you can't put such a strong time stamp on something like that. And I find that we do that way too much, because like you don't know when something's gonna happen, you don't know how it's gonna happen. Things unfold in the best of ways when you least expect it. That's what I love about life. It's when you think you're not gonna get anywhere, and you're just about to say stop instead of pausing. The door opens, or a miracle comes into play some kind of way, and it's like very unexpected, it's very unpredictable, and you're like, whoa, I could have never seen this coming. Exactly, but the hard work, you got to put the work in.
I'm getting blown now. I'm in my zone now.
Consistency is the key, not so much about gifts, but like I said, that's a bonus. If you have a skill set in that area and you're very gifted in that area, that's a bonus. Sometimes, we've talked about this before in the past. Sometimes you have to grow into what you're doing, Like, I don't necessarily think that just because you're not great at something right away, like from the jump, that doesn't mean it's not your purpose. Like, sometimes you have to grow into that area that you're trying to go into, that route that you're trying to go down. You have to like practice in order to get, better at it. And then, you can still feel that it's your purpose. It's just you have to do what? Work hard. Some people might have to work harder than others, but that does not mean that it's not your mission. So don't be discouraged if you don't do something well right away. That's okay. I mean, if anything, I always say I find that the people that have it the worst are always the ones who are the most successful, because you go through so much and life pushes you so hard, and you have so many obstacles in front of you, and you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to make it through this? You've made it through so many times when you thought you wouldn't. So this time is not any different, but that's how your mind has to think. You have to think of it that way, like, okay, I've been through this and so much more before. This is nothing, this is a piece of cake. And that's what you have to tell yourself. Even if it feels hard, even if you feel like giving up, you tell yourself that's not an option, because it's not. You deserve to live a fulfilled life. You deserve to, encounter great people, encounter great interactions. You deserve to have beautiful experiences. You deserve to just, have whatever your heart desires. But the only way that that's going to happen is you going after it. You have to go after it. Shh, don't tell them. You have to go after it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what life is all about. You know what I'm saying? It's not about, okay, I'm going to just wake up one day and then it's just going to happen. Now, don't get me wrong. When you manifest things and you work hard, it happens so much quicker, but it's still going to require you to work. It's not going to come to you. You have to go towards it. So that's what today's topic is all about. It's all about, finding different ways to stay inspired, finding different ways to stay motivated, and understanding what kind of work ethic you have. If that makes any sense. Okay, so you might be a person that works best under pressure. You might be a person that works, that likes to get things, like be ahead of the game. Good morning, good morning. Somebody that likes to be ahead of the game. So, hey, oh, Layla, hi. So that you don't fall behind. Everybody's different, and somebody, thank you for that share. Chicago, good morning. Good morning, good morning. You could be somebody that's in the middle of the process. That works best in the middle. It just depends on it just depends on what's going on. So some people are early birds, some people are late, some people good morning, good morning. It just really depends. But either way, it's not wrong, is what my point is. Either way, it's never wrong. Appreciate that love. It's not wrong to be an early bird. It's not wrong to do things, under pressure, be kind of late with it. Whatever you do best. I don't know. I can't tell you what to do with that. I would recommend getting a head start so that you don't feel stressed out because, like I said, that's not really good for you. But if that's how you work best, then that's how you work best. Oh, snatch this little shirt. If you want a shirt, hold on. You could go to WESOFLY morningshow.com. I'm about to put in the comments for you. You could go right here and order you a shirt. You know what I'm saying? Spread that to your friends and family too while you're at it. So, but we all have those days where we just don't feel up to working. Where you have those days where you just want to take a nap or yeah. You just want to take a nap or you just want to, relax like your brain. You just don't want to do all that. Appreciate that. Follow. I'm gonna follow you back. So it's all about your mind and what your energy is saying. But of course, your intuition is going to tell you to keep going after your dreams. Thank you for that. Follow. Appreciate that. So, and that's what's so good about life. Thank you so much, guys. That is exactly what's so good about life is that yes, you can take your time and it's not a rush. There's no rushing. But at the same time, you have to understand that your purpose is going to be there regardless of how long it takes you. So it's not so much about how fast you work, it's about how hard you work. So rushing into something that doesn't hold any weight. But if you take your time and you do it right, I know you've heard that before where they say take your time and do it right instead of rushing and just doing it to say you just did anything. You know what I mean? There's a huge difference between welcome back to it. There's a huge difference between, going into something. Oh, look at Pear. Good morning, Pear. Yeah, Leila. There's a huge difference between going into something. Oh, Stan. Good morning. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday, guys. Going into something with the idea that okay, what's meant for you is meant for you. And then there's going into something, rushing because you're scared and you just want to do something because you don't want to feel like you're here for no reason. I get that. Sometimes we freak out and we're like, I just got to do something because everybody else in the world is doing something, so I just have to do something. No, sit down, take some deep breaths, calm down, get yourself centered and let your body, let your mind, let your soul speak to you and see what it says. Don't jump into something right away, just because you want to be like everybody else. And that's the thing. With work ethic, I think is really good to have your own routine. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, okay, I'll give you an example. Because this one right here, oh my gosh, like this. All right, so we got like City right here, right? Okay, so City can do like a million things at one time. I don't know how. And he, like, oh my God, he gets so much done within a short amount of time. That's what scares me. Okay, I mean, like, a team full of people can do, I'm not even capping, I swear, I cannot make this up. Anybody that knows him, they'll tell you the same thing. Okay, so he'll do what a team of people can do in like a couple of days.
I'm getting blown now. I'm in my zone now.
And then, you know what I mean? And then there's a person like me who has to take it one thing at a time because if I don't, like I go all over the place. I can't really do all that stuff at one time. You know what I mean? I could probably knock out two projects, if I get to one then the other and then I could move forward to something else. I would say my highest is like two at a time. Maybe. I know it's lit, like for real, for real. He's awesome. He's lit. So but you see, the work ethic is good either way because we're still getting stuff done. It's just I can't do a million things. City can do a million things. I'm not gonna go that route because I know I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna just be like, you know what? I'm overwhelmed, and I'm not gonna do it. So what's the point? So it's best for me to just stick to the one or two projects at a time, get them done, knock them out, and then keep going. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes it's good to have somebody to push you. Then you can do more. So I'm not gonna lie. If I'm pushed, then I can do more at once. But it just depends. Yeah. So I was just using that example just to show you the difference. Like you can't get mad at yourself because you don't do the same things other people do around you. Like that doesn't make you any less. Like you guys are still equals. You know what I mean? It's just we have different mindsets. Yeah, and it's always good to have that motivation. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. See? You know how to stay motivated when you want to. Maybe it's quotes that inspire you. Maybe you're reading stuff, you're researching. Maybe you have spiritual means where you talk to God or a higher source. Maybe you talk with yourself more to motivate yourself. Sometimes we got to have that little coaching session with ourselves. Maybe you watch, I don't know, your favorite icons, people that you look up to. You talk to somebody like a coach or something, whatever. Or you go to social media, I don't know, like there's different forms of inspiration. So we all have different practices, but the main thing is whatever motivates you, that's perfectly fine. There's no judgment with that. I mean, I know everybody, some people might deem certain methods as weird, but I don't think so. I just think if it speaks to you, it speaks to you. Like that's beautiful. So my point with that is don't compare yourself, because when you compare yourself, you dim your light, you dim your inspiration. When you look at the next person and say, dang, they're way better because they can do this and do that. And it's like, no, they've just found their pace and they're comfortable with that. That's good for them. So they work best like that. Good. Never compare. That's what I'm talking about. So you ahead of the game. You focused on you. If anything, I bet you're the kind of person that looks at your work ethic and is like, I could do better than I did yesterday. And that's what I'm talking about. That's beautiful. That's healthy because you're not worried about other people around you. You're worried about you. It's like you got to show out for yourself. You got to remind yourself of who you are. And you got to tell yourself, look, I can do better than I did. There we go. Love yourself. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Put that love into you, put that self-care down, get your routine, and that's going to help you to work hard. That's going to help you to build too because you care enough about yourself to get to the next step. And that's what a lot of people are missing in that formula. They don't really care about themselves, so they kind of just put their dreams off. And no, no, don't put it off. There we go. See, okay, what I'm talking about. Oh, good morning, Nami. Layla, you got this. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for that share, Nami. Where you been at? So I love it. That's exactly what we're talking about. Like, and see, that's the thing. So if you have a spiritual source that is there with you, you're gonna stay motivated, right? Because you're gonna feel like you're not alone. So, oh my gosh. Well, come chill up in the morning show. How about that? Okay, anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? Sorry, I like to clown on me. But yeah, so you can have God as the source to, lean on when you feel like your hard work is just, it's a bit overwhelming. When you feel overwhelmed, when you feel overwhelmed, go to God about it. That's what they say. Talk to God about it. Or talk to somebody. So it's just there we go. I'm not here to impress nobody. I'm here to improve and that's what I'm talking about. Exactly. You know what I mean? That. So that's what you know. You know what I'm saying? As long as you know you're not trying to show out for nobody else, then you're gonna be more consistent. I promise. Because when you appreciate that, thank you. Good morning, good morning. You know, when you know you're showing out for yourself, That's why I said, like how Layla said, love yourself. So you're working towards bettering you. You're not worried about other people. I mean, of course, your friends and your family, they're going to have their opinions. They're going to be like, you should do this, you should do that. If it doesn't work for you, don't do it. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, don't do that. Don't try to impress people, because that can knock you off your course, and especially when you found, I know everybody's experienced this before, when you found a good pace to go at, right? And you feel like you're consistent, you're motivated, you just got it all going on, Yeah, yeah. You got it all going on. And then a friend or a family member recommends something new to your routine. And that something new knocks off the whole rhythm. And you're like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Like they might be like, try sleeping more. That'll help you to work better. And then you end up sleeping way too long, and it just knocks off your whole thing. And it's like, oh, why did I even listen to them? You know what I mean? Because it can happen just that quick. But that doesn't mean that you can't get back on the horse. You get back on the horse and you do your thing. You know what I mean? You get back and you get back to who you are. You get back to what really matters, and that's what you worry about. You don't worry about what's not going on for you. You worry about how you're going to get to that stage so it can work for you. You know what I mean? That we go, you know what I'm saying? So that's what you're worried about. It's okay to get tired. It's just not okay to stop, to not keep going. We're never going to stop. We can take breaks, we can pause, but we can't stop. We can't give up. We can't just settle. We got to keep moving forward. Good morning. Good morning. We always got to move forward no matter how hard and how, scary the journey may be. Worry about how, think of it this way. Think about how amazing it's going to be when you reach that moment of living out your dreams. You know what I mean? Good morning, Nugget Chips. Good morning. Gang gang. Thank you for that share. Gang gang. So think about how it's going to feel when you live out your dreams. It's going to be great. Thank you for coming through, Chips. You're going to be like, thank you, God, that I didn't give up. So many people have said that. So many people. Yeah, you know what it is. Gang, gang. They're like, I'm so grateful that I didn't give up, because now I can do A, B, C, and D. Now they have the house that they've always wanted. Now they have the car they've always wanted. Now you're financially stable. Now you have so many people looking up to you like you've always dreamt. Whatever the case may be, you started your own brand. You're traveling, you're touching the world, you're making an impact. You know what I mean? So, can you say something? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, there we go. You know what I mean? So you got to figure out what that vision is. And that's a crucial part too, guys. This is, that's where the motivation really comes in, because when you personify your dreams and your visions and your goals, you make a goal, you set goals, and maybe one at a time. Maybe you can make a list, whatever makes you comfortable. That's why I said earlier, if you're a person that can multitask, by all means, do that. If you're a person that monotasks, we talked about that before. Yeah, guys, that's the thing. Monotasking just means you do one thing at a time. So either you're a multitasker or a monotasker.
I'm getting blown now. I'm in my zone now.
Personally, like I said, more of a monotasker, but I try to multitask the best I know how at times. It just depends. It depends on my mindset around that time. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. You know what I mean? There you go. Handle your responsibility before you con around. Thank you, truth. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about, chips. So, and that's the thing. Work hard, play hard. You ever heard that? Like, you have time to play when you work hard. It's like a rewarding system. Like, you get to reward yourself when you work hard. It's like you give yourself a pat on the back, and maybe, you could celebrate with a night out, or watching your favorite movies, eating your favorite food, whatever you want to do, treating yourself. You don't have to wait on other people to treat you. Treat yourself because, like Layla was saying, love yourself, self love. You know what I mean? Love on yourself. Take good care of yourself. And I find that when you reward yourself or there's a reward in the end, you work harder. I don't know. I guess it's a psychological thing where the mind is like, okay, I'm gonna get something from this, because we all looking for an outcome. But it's more of a guarantee because let's say you consistently reward yourself every time you get a goal done or you meet a goal, right? You're going to keep doing that, right? Because you're going to enjoy the process of reaping the benefits, right? So that's the same way with anything in life. Life is going to reward you when you work hard enough. It's just the only difference between you rewarding yourself and life rewarding you is that, of course, when it's you call the shots. You have the timeline. It's more of a definite thing. Like it's indefinite that this is gonna happen within a certain time frame. Like, when you knock that goal out, okay, you're gonna eat some ice cream. Like, that's a given. Okay. Or you're going to treat yourself to a massage at the spa. Things like that. That's something you do and it's consistent, right? However, with life, it's like, okay, you put all this work in and you're like, wait a minute, where's thank you so much for that promotion, that spam. you know if you're up and you got, yeah, it depends on, exactly, it's not what is given to you, it's how you handle it. So it's not about good money, it's not about what comes your way, it's about how you deal with it, because we're all gonna have adversity. Or you eat your food before you drink, there you go, whatever you got to do, what I'm saying, whatever floats your boat, whatever rhythm you're working with, so but find the pace that works for you, and understand that good things, I like to say great things come to those who wait. You know what I mean? So being patient, but not only waiting, working hard. I don't mean just standing around and being stagnant. I mean waiting in terms of, okay, I'm going to work hard and I'm going to still, wait for my blessings to come in, but in the meantime, my pace doesn't stop. You know what I mean? There you go. You made your bed, so lay in it. Exactly. So if you don't do anything, you can't really be mad that nothing's happening. But if you're doing something and constantly doing something, yeah, go hard or go home. Y'all are putting all the facts out there. And that's what I always say. Like, don't do something with a mediocre energy level. Like, don't just do something just to say you did it. Like I said, you have to do it at your best, be at your best, give it your all, put your best foot forward. Like, people tell you things like that for a reason because they want to see you make it. Forgiveness and healing, creation of opportunity. There you go. Y'all are putting so many beautiful thoughts out there. Appreciate that. Thank you so much for being here at the show. You know what I'm saying? So you guys know, you have a good understanding of what you're doing and you know how you work. Some people, they take a little bit more time to get motivated. Some people, they're just running, they could take off. But either way, either person is going to get to the destination as long as they stay consistent. Yes, and life is a gift. Life is definitely precious. You don't have time to wait around. That's why I say don't grow complacent. But at the same time, take your time, make sure that you're being healthy in mind, body, and spirit. If you check out WeSoFlyMorningshow.com, we got the self-care that tells you how to do that. You know what I'm saying? Just a little plug. But yeah, so if you're trying to be healthy in mind, body, and spirit, check out that website though. And sometimes you just need a little more guidance, and there's nothing wrong with that either. Create a situation you can control. There you go. So you have to find your formula, and sometimes, okay, this happens. Sometimes you have a set formula, right? And then something unexpected happens, then you're like, oh man, like, what am I gonna do? That's the thing. Don't get too comfortable. Have a plan of action, but have several plans. Don't just have one strategy. Have several strategies because you never know what angle life is gonna you know what I'm saying, where it's gonna come from, how it's gonna happen, when it's gonna happen. So just be a well-rounded individual, so that way you cover all the bases, you know what I mean? Like for instance, like you're never gonna handle life the same way every time. Like I find that to be very rare. You know, we all have different ways of handling different situations. Like we can't you can't go at the same situation or different situations with the same plan of action every time. It's not, life doesn't work that way, you know, because you're not, it's not going to always work, you know. So that's why you have to have different ways of thinking. You have to be more open-minded, you have to be more understanding, you have to be more patient, you have to be, you know, you have to be willing to go through the hard times in order to get to the good times, you know. Don't think opportunities come to, yeah, exactly, they're not going to come to you, you have to go to them, you know. And that's what I'm talking about. Like sometimes there are going to be moments where, I'm not going to lie, where God is telling you to wait, and God is like, okay, chill, you know, don't move just yet, you know. But then there are going to be times where God says, all right, move forward, he's going to push you real hard. So that's what I'm saying, like don't get too comfortable doing one thing all the time. Don't be too comfortable waiting and then striking, going in for the attack, you know. Don't be too comfortable with going and being impulsive. You get what I mean? Being impulsive is not always the best thing. Like yes, it give you a lot to work with, but if you're not thinking through properly, what steps are you really making? It's like, you know how people, like I said, rushing, they rush through something and they make like a ton of mistakes, versus if they had just planned it out thoroughly and had several strategies and then did something because they thought it over, they weighed the pros and cons, and they worked hard in the right way. That pays off. Like somebody who works hard the right way instead of just working hard, like I said, randomly, like impulsively, they're not, like, it may look like you're getting stuff done, but if you're not conscious of what you're doing, you're not getting anything done. Good morning, good morning. Appreciate all that spam. Appreciate all the interaction, guys. You know what I mean? So it's better to be consistent. It's better to be knowledgeable of what you're doing. Knowledge is power, but only if you implement it correctly, you know. So that's why we always talk about, you know, doing thorough research, knowing what you're getting into before you go into it, you know, not just throwing yourself anywhere, and not just, you know, being desperate for any opportunity. It's not about desperation, it's about being smart, being active, yes, but making sure that you're actively you know, smart, using your knowledge and you're active, you know. So it should work hand in hand, you know. So, and you know, when you get overwhelmed, you know, just remember where you came from, just remember who you are, remember what you're after. We all get overwhelmed, and think about that too. Like I find personally, you know, this may help the thought process a little bit. I find that when I'm overwhelmed, I just think about how many other people are going through the same thing, but they're just not talking about it. You know what I mean? Like there are tons of people who are going through the same thing. Good morning, that are going through the same thing you're going through. It's just that they're not saying it. It doesn't mean it's not happening. It's just a lot of people don't vocalize what they're going through. A lot of people don't vocalize how hard they've worked to get somewhere. And that's why you can't look at somebody else's story or look at somebody from the outside. Appreciate all those shares. You know, somebody from the outside and say, "Oh, they're so lucky." Luck has nothing to do with it. Work ethic is how they got to where they got. It has nothing to do with luck.
I'm getting blown now. I'm in my zone now.
You know what I mean? Because we're not successful because we're lucky. We're successful because we deserve it and we worked hard to get there. You get what I mean? Has nothing to do with spontaneous like miracles and all that. Miracles happen when you put the work in. Miracles happen when you put the time in. Miracles happen when you put the energy in, period. Effort is everything. Energy is everything. Mindset is everything. You know, just being driven is everything. You know what I mean? So ask yourself, when you feel those moments where you're not inspired, ask yourself, why am I not inspired right now? Why am I not motivated to get things done? And sometimes it's caused by a variety of different things, and sometimes there is no cause. We're human, we as humans we're pretty complex at times, so when that baby girl's okay, see, that's what I'm saying. There you go. Sometimes you have children, that makes you really motivated. You have your own family to look after, so you're thinking about other people besides yourself now. And that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes that's what I mean. Like life comes and it hits you from so many different directions. What if you didn't know you were going to have a family? And then, next thing you know, you're pregnant, or you find out that your girlfriend's pregnant, or whatever the case may be, your partner, and now you got to plan your life differently. You weren't ready for that, and even if you are ready, you're never fully prepared. It's life. You never know what's going to happen. You don't know if it's going to be a boy or a girl. You got to get your finances together. You got to see how you guys are going to live. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much that goes into it. So think of life that way. You just got to set yourself up for success. And setting yourself up for success means that you're willing to do the work. Priorities. There you go. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for putting all that out there. You know what I'm saying? So ask yourself, are you willing to work for your dreams, or are you just gonna let them pass you by? Are you gonna put that work in, that time in, get that energy right, and be consistent and stay motivated, because you know in your soul that God put you on this earth to do this. You know what I mean? And that's what matters. It's not about what other people are saying. You could feel it in your bones that, okay, this is the life I'm supposed to live. I don't care what other people are talking about. I'm gonna do A, B, C, and D, or A through Z to make it happen. And I'm not gonna stop, even if I have to get to Z and there's still some one, go from 1 to 100, then start making up new numbers and letters that don't even exist. Whatever you got to do. You know what I mean? Make your own system that you live by, is what I'm saying. And make sure that you evaluate your time. Make sure that you're using your time wisely. That's why I said earlier, don't just do stuff sporadically. Don't just do things impulsively, because make sure that you're really taking advantage of your time for the right reasons, and you're doing the right things when you have a lot of time on your hands. If you have a lot of time on your hands, instead of slacking off, put some work in. Get some blogs done, some videos done, make some calls, network, whatever you got to do. Just do something that's going to help your future. You know what I mean? So just make sure that you're being organized in what you do. And we're glad that you came to day two. You know what I'm saying? Come on through every day at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, by the way, guys. This is every day. We do the show every day at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can find us here doing different topics. And it's all in the name of the positivity spread. And like the shirt City's wearing, we have merch and all that stuff, to keep you guys motivated. WESOFLYMorningshow.com. I'll go into that a little bit later again. So just check in. Remember to check in. Remember to just, remind yourself of why you're doing this. Ask yourself what's going on. Appreciate you to the fullest. Remind yourself, like, hey, why is this going on? Oh, snap. Appreciate that love. You know what I'm saying? And see the goal, see the vision, see the purpose, feel it. Believe it. Believe in yourself. You got to believe in yourself when other people don't, when they won't. It's not about them, it's about you. And I've always said to myself and to other people, the journey is not for them, the journey is for you. They're not supposed to understand what you're doing all the time. That's not realistic. Other people may think you're nuts when you go to tell them that you're doing certain things. They might make fun of you, they might have really weird reactions, and they may laugh or whatever. And it's most of the time, those are the people that when they see that you got that thing done that they thought was quote unquote impossible, they're like, oh, I knew you could do it. No, 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 you didn't. You know what I mean? And that's okay. And it's like, all right, love you from a distance, but I'm living out my dream that I worked hard for. When you said I couldn't do it, look at me now. And that's not to be spiteful. It's just you worked hard. You know what I mean? You deserve to kind of show out and brag on it. You worked hard. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'll never take that away from a person.
I'm getting blown now.